How's it going, everyone? Nick Salzman here, Pendulum Metrics. Wanted to talk to you guys today about a little something we haven't covered much in my other videos. I hope you guys have been enjoying some of the new content coming out and showing how we can use some of the breathing techniques for clearing and stuff. So today, what we're going to talk about is thought form energies and entities. So what are they? How are they created? What can we do to clear them? Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is poltergeists. The Poltergeist is definitely something a lot of people have heard about. There's a movie that's even called Poltergeist. In German, it just pretty much means a noisy ghost. One of the things people have found is that teenagers are really good at creating poltergeist energies in the home. I think a lot of it has to do with projecting energy. And so some people naturally have a knack for being able to kind of like send mental energy or like create thought form energy. Just like some people are good at running, some people are good at math, some people are good at lifting heavy stuff. There's some people that are really good at projecting their thoughts. And so when we take this approach, we can learn about how some of these entities like a poltergeist can be created. So poltergeist is definitely thought form energy. And this can be a few different things that can really morph into something much more complex over time. So just to start from the beginning, if we have someone that maybe is really upset with their position in life, or maybe, they have regret or depression or some of this kind of stuff, oftentimes they start kind of putting the shell around them, and we see people become a recluse when they come in the state, right? They kind of pull away from everybody and they don't want to be talked to. They almost kind of create like a shell around them, and this energy can hold in these like negative emotions and really fuel it, and it creates like a self-sabotaging behavior that is like a self-feeding cycle of, oh, how come I feel this way? Oh, you're so, this and that, you shouldn't feel that way. And we kind of like feed the cycle over and over. Okay, so if we have one of these on us, it can really make it difficult to think clearly. It can even be really difficult for someone else to like send us healing energy if we don't have a correct approach with this. So when people pass away with this kind of energy on them, it can detach and it can remain in a house. And really what it is if you think of it, if it's projection of energy, let's say of being lonely or being angry with something, okay, it sits in kind of that vibration. It sits in that state. So that person moves out of the house, maybe they pass away. That energy stays in the house. A new family comes and moves in. Now that family member that also is sensitive, that is empathic, usually the children are going to be the first ones to kind of pick up on this. It's going to start off as almost like, it feels weird in here, or, you ever had that where you walk into a room when there's been an argument going on and you don't know that, but you can walk in and like feel the tension. It's a lot like that, but it can be one of those things where it makes you sad, depressed, anxious, or even irritable. These are definitely common things that being around poltergeist energy can induce. So with the poltergeist energy, it has the ability to almost be manipulated with our thoughts, but more importantly, our fears, the things that we don't want. These are the things that really attach a lot of that emotion of like fear, which is a really, really similar vibration. And so by natural reaction, it works with it. So let me put this into context. Let's say there's a poltergeist energy in the home, and then a family moves in, and then let's say there's a little girl that lives in the house. Now maybe she had like an abusive father or something when she was younger. Either way, she's scared of waking up and seeing a male figure standing in her doorway of, a reoccurring event. So when she thinks about this and subconsciously kind of has it in the back of her mind, this poltergeist energy is able to kind of assimilate with that. And not only that, it starts giving this poltergeist energy structure. And so it's usually not very long until you start hearing about, child seeing an apparition or something in a doorway. It's because it's starting to create form based off of her fears, okay? So over time, these can definitely mimic the sounds of people. I heard sometimes people say, oh, I heard my husband whistling, but it wasn't my husband because he was at work, but it was the same whistle. It has the ability to pick up on this kind of stuff over time. And this is something that doesn't happen quickly. This is something that remains in a house. 10 different families live in that house while it's still there. Then it starts getting a little bit more of this advanced state, okay? So when we deal with poltergeist energies, one of the things that we have to do is we pull out a pendulum. And now a pendulum works well for me, so I'm gonna show you guys my approach. So if I have a picture of somebody or inside of somebody's house, I'll hold my cell phone in my hand, kind of just have the screen showing right here. And I usually just kind of have the pendulum over the phone. Now, I will tell you, you get used to doing this work, and if you're like me, you're probably going to have issues with your cell phone service from time to time. So just be forewarned with that if you're going to use your phone. So if there is poltergeist energy in the home, pull up my pendulum, and I'm going to use an Akh. And Akh is a blue light pendulum, and this one works really, really well for taking care of poltergeist energies, okay? So with this poltergeist energy, what we want to do is be able to hold, the picture. After we look at it, we can even hold it in our mind. But for me, I like holding the pendulum right over the phone when I'm doing this, okay? So what we can easily do is, this is a thought form energy. So there is no Christ spark. There is no higher self to this. All we have to do is ask. First, we always call on our prayer of protection, surround us in the highest light, keep us protected from all negativity. We have to repel anything that doesn't serve our highest good health and well-being. Okay, that's a simple one I use. You guys can borrow it if you want. It's all good. What I'm going to ask, do we have permission to make a mental connection with this poltergeist energy? Okay, and this is how we initiate this, okay? So after we get permission, remember, it's always permission. After we get that, then we can start doing the work. Now understand, poltergeist energy is creative thought form. Usually this is from emotions, and this is also from trauma. So we have to remember that we have to neutralize this stuff, okay? So we're going to say universal knowledge. Do we have permission to neutralize this poltergeist energy? Okay, we do have permission. I'm getting a yes. So I'm going to say universal knowledge at this time. I ask that we depolarize all negative mental stimuli and neutralize all toxic emotional trauma stored in the bank of memory and energy field of this poltergeist. Then I do my breathing technique. Okay, nice and easy. Then this is pretty much at this state, it has been neutralized. It's not necessarily an entity, so I don't need to heal it, and I don't need to nourish it, so to speak. But now that we've neutralized this, do we have permission to send this back to the universal mind? Okay, poltergeist energy is very different. It is not an entity, and it doesn't go back to its own dimension. It doesn't go to source. But what it does is it goes back to where our thoughts originate from, something called the universal mind that we're all connected to. Okay, so at this time, do we have permission to send this poltergeist energy back to the universal mind? Thank you. One thing let's make very clear. We always ask, do we need assistance from a being of light to help us at this time? Okay, so for me, I always call upon my assistants. I call her the Holy Mother. You guys would know her by Shakti. You guys would know her by Sekhmet, Huey, Archangel Ariel. It doesn't really matter what her name is. What she is a divine cosmic energy that's very, very helpful with clearing stuff. And so you guys may have someone else assigned to you, but if you're not sure, maybe you can ask if the Holy Mother can work for you, or work with you rather, okay? So in this case, we would definitely need the assistance of someone like her to be able to send us back to the universal mind. Do we have permission to call upon the assistance of our Holy Mother? Okay, and I get a yes. And I say, Holy Mother, thank you for being here with us. Can you assist us in removing this poltergeist and sending it back to the universal mind? Okay, thank you. Then this is something simple that I do. You guys can try it out, or you can adopt it or do something different. And I say, okay, universal knowledge, I ask that we surround, protect, heal, and keep this poltergeist energy in the light. We ask now to remove it from this space and from all timelines, future, past, present, and parallel, known and unknown, and ask that we merge it back with the universal mind, divinely, instantly, and painlessly. All right. So pretty much, poltergeists are really misunderstood. They can really complicate stuff, and they're extremely easy to clear. So, if we have something like this remaining in a house, we can clear it. Sometimes people have this attached to them, and we want to clear that. I found when I'm clearing earthbound entities, sometimes the suicides can have this poltergeist energy around them, almost like a giant force field. So we have to remember, when we remove all their memories of pain, you know, this is kind of tied up into that area. So just remember to ask to neutralize any poltergeist energy. I think that's going to help you a lot. So I hope you guys have found this video insightful. I got lots more good stuff on the way, but I got to give it to you in small pieces at a time because there's a lot to cover and a lot of stuff that I can't wait to share with you. So please like, subscribe, follow my YouTube channel. Check me out, Pendulum Optometrics, on Facebook, Instagram, website, pendulumopometrics.com. I like to use this rosewood Akh. I love the wood grain on these things. Very, very versatile and very affordable. I hope you guys enjoyed this content, and look forward to hearing your comments down below. Any questions, just ask. And if you got any suggestions of what you want to hear next, write it down below. Until then, thank you all. Love you. Have a good day.